So, I'm feeling kind of grumpy today. And I think like I'm looking the part too. Any of you who have an autoimmune disease know what happens when it gets damp and it gets cold. We turn into a little bit of autoimmune monsters, don't you think? When things are hurting a lot. It actually makes me stop and think before I talk. Because I can say I can say things that come out sounding not like what they were feeling like in my head. So usually on days like this, I tend to do the cave thing, where I kind of keep to myself because I think the world's better off without a lot of me on those days. And I've kind of gotten in the habit of doing just that since I retired. And not necessarily think that's the healthiest coping mechanism. It's not like you're feeling sorry for yourself. It's just like you kind of feel you're just better off with dealing with it privately. Tonight, though, is the weekly gathering of several of the women here in my community that have become very fond of each other. And my first thought was to talk myself out of it. And then I realized that I'm being challenged to remember I'm only as limited as I permit myself to be when it comes to kind of the false prompts that my disease gives me to grind to a halt. I'm not usually better off for grinding to a halt. And I love these women, and I love spending time with them, and I realized thinking about that today and looking about my calendar for the week that I've let myself get into a place, because I don't have a lot of responsibilities in retirement, to kind of withdraw from life when I'm not feeling myself. I never make videos, for instance, when I feel like this or look like this. Oh, not because I care that you see me looking like this. It's more that you get that, who'd want to listen to this? Who'd want to listen to what I have to say? And do I have anything halfway decent to say that doesn't sound like a complaint? All of that is an illusion that I create for myself at the times I just don't feel as good as the other times. And I think that's probably my lesson for the day. To be with the day, to look forward to spending time with friends tonight. Get outside of myself instead of listening to the what's on this shoulder that tells me to withdraw at a time like this, and listen to this shoulder, which is maybe at a time like this you will be nourished and fed by the company you keep. There won't be much in the way of vlogging today because the task that I have, HOA techs again, and a couple of things around the house that aren't particularly memorable. In fact, I don't even know that I will get to them. I think what I'm going to do is get the HOA checks done, because that's always in a big box, and then finish up the in-bulk ritual for my working partner and I for Thursday. I had a fun little video that I took for you outside today. We don't get a lot of blackbirds here. They don't tend to hang out by the water. They tend to be inland where there's better pickings from the farmlands and the fields. And today, for some reason, maybe the weather has driven them here because it's cold inland today and it's snowing, where the wind is coming off of the ocean. The ocean is relatively warm, and so we are just getting rain. And maybe they've decided to holiday waterside. So we have this group of a couple of hundred blackbirds that kept landing at our feeders. There's not a lot out for them. I haven't been out there to put new seed out yet today, so you can believe that all the sparrows and the wrens and the titmice have picked over what's on the ground, but I guess they're ever hopeful, these blackbirds. And they land, they start getting busy, pecking away, and then a golf cart comes by, or they hear a car, whether it's on this street or not, and they all lift off and fly away again. And the sound they all make when they lift at the same time. All of their wings at the same time. They're actually pretty noisy. I don't know if my camera is sensitive enough to catch that when they lift off, but I did at least get to capture. Somebody dared park in their driveway across the street, and Bogey told them what for regarding that. So I hope that I caught the sound of the birds when they all lifted off the ground. You all know that sound, but it was kind of an uplifting kind of a thing that made me smile and got me with a little bit of a better attitude going on for the day. One thing is about these vlogs that's going to be interesting for me as a personal challenge is I want to do something every day. And there'll be days it might just be a minute, or it might just be a tiny moment and nothing else. My instinct when I don't feel well, and therefore don't feel I look particularly well, or puffy, or my voice isn't working, or whatever, my instinct is not to share on those days. I'm beginning to think that doing these vlogs has been quite a personal journey for me. When I started doing them, I did them because I had been on YouTube for years and years now. Well, not as long as some of our favorite YouTubers, but, you know, long by my standards. Going back to when I was still working. 5 years or so, I guess, maybe? Anyway, I felt that I know that I did only topic videos early on because it's what I was comfortable doing. I wasn't comfortable putting out a lot of myself. I was interested in engaging with the pagan community and watching their videos on topics, and especially for someone like me, engaging and understanding what contemporary paganism means. And so there's a lot of topic videos. And I felt like my channel wasn't me. It was only some selected presentation of me. And my urge to do vlogs came out of first realizing how much I appreciated the friends that I watch. When they do vlogs, how much I appreciate them. Noticing how I do enjoy watching those kind of videos that other people post. And a sense of, I guess, wanting to be more genuinely here. And the larger a following I have collected here on YouTube, I think I have a little over or somewhere around 9,000 subscribers, which doesn't mean my videos get watched 9,000 times by all means. A lot of those accounts are dead accounts at this point because they go back years. But, and especially my vlogs, they might get, you know, under a couple hundred views. So nowhere near what my topic videos get in the way of viewership. But I am finding that it is not just making me feel like I am present in the community in a very real way. So that those who watch my videos and think I know a lot of shit understand that I don't know any more or any less than anyone else that's learning through their life experiences and along the length of their life. And that I live the same life that 9/10 of us do. There's nothing exotic about my life. Oh, it's had its exotic moments, and it will every now and then still into the future, but I feel by having taken on this project for however long I decide to do it of these vlogs, not only have I felt like I've been more honestly present, but I feel like I have made connection with a lot of you, even some of you who have watched my videos and commented here and there over the years, the topic videos, that I now feel like I'm getting to know you personally. An unexpected benefit to doing the vlogs has been some of you have become much more real to me. It's the conversations that we're having instead of just the occasional like or comment that has engaged me greatly and really been a blessing for the time I've been doing the vlogs. And then of course I'm very surprised too I must have been led to do the vlogs too, which I didn't know when I began doing them, for personal reasons. Reasons of introspection and thinking and awareness of my day. And for instance, my willingness to record today, which is becoming a ramble, a day at which, and honestly, I feel like shit. If you have an autoimmune disease, you know what wintertime does to us. When we have a particularly damp and cold day, it's raining here now. It is going to go down tonight below freezing, then down into the low 20s. Stay that way for 4 or 5 days. That's like 30 degrees lower than it's supposed to be for us where I live this time of year. Everything's hurting. Can't get a breath. Hey, it did mean that the things I had on my list that had boxes around them for doing household tasks, cleaning the bathroom and vacuuming, that kind of thing, they can't get done. Not possible. So it should free more time for me to, between the social commitments that I have the next several days, sit down with a book, sit down with my tarot, be in a quiet place, because I can't get about physically very well in this weather. So see, I've vlogged myself into appreciating this day in a much deeper way than I started out. I never feel sorry for myself because of the physical challenges I have, because I am very lucky in that Lady Lupus has not presented herself in a life-threatening fashion. I never feel sorry for myself, but I tend to want to deal with the bad days cloistered. And I don't think that is emotionally healthy for me. And now a golf cart drove by, and Bogey didn't like that either. So I think today's vlogging has been good for me because I'm here with you. When I might have decided I just didn't feel like being here with you. And it's opened up the possibilities of the day to me in a brighter way. So, I plan on enjoying this day. And I wasn't so sure that's where I was aiming the first few hours I was up this morning. So, let me end by introducing you to our community of blackbirds that showed up at the feeders. In the entire time I've been talking to you, they have probably 15 times all landed and gathered and been pecking the ground, and all flown off because something sets them off. I swear one of them sneezes and they all fly away. And then within 5 minutes they all settle back down again. And I love the fact that it looks like they've gone, but they haven't. The canopies here are, I guess a couple of 100 feet in the air, because these are old growth trees, so the tops of them are way up there. So even when they lift up off the ground, they're up in the trees having a discussion about when is the appropriate time to come back down. And they do it as a group, so they obviously, by mutual consent, they come back at the same time. So they've entertained me, and speaking with you has lifted my spirits. You're good for me, my friends.